Yeah, now my fourth ever foreign port, Hong Kong. Talk about getting thrown into the deep end. Man, a 24-year-old kid on his own, never been out of Oregon in his life. Anyhow, Tijuana doesn't count. But now I'm on watch, out on the wing of the bridge, just staring, open-mouthed, at the spectacular Hong Kong skyline on our 9 p.m. approach to the harbor. Fucking A, are you serious? How the hell did I get here? Now, we were scheduled for a 24-hour stay, and once we were docked, man, I couldn't slap my 100 down fast enough. I was paying for two watches. Now, on the way across from Seattle, I'd gotten to be friends with a young third mate I worked out with, Dan. And Dan had been telling me stories about this world famous bar in Hong Kong called the Bottoms Up Club. Now, the Bottoms Up Club was featured in the James Bond movie, The Man with the Golden Gun with Roger Moore. And it was actually across the sea bridge from Hong Kong over in Kowloon, which is mainland China. So it takes about an hour to get the ship secured. Then Dan and I run screaming for a cab. Hell, it's Hong Kong. He's coming too. Now, the 80s in general was a much simpler, more innocent, naive time in the world for this kind of swashbuckler bullshit. Hell, just a simple cab ride straight into China. No passport, no papers. We're sailors. We don't need no stinking papers. Yeah, try that today without getting shot. Good luck with that. Now, the Bottoms Up Club was just almost too much too soon for a global virgin to absorb. Seriously, it was just total sensory overload. So here we are, downtown Kowloon, China. Crowded, narrow Main Street, neon everywhere. You walk down a long set of dingy concrete steps into a large eight-sided room with an eight-sided bar in the middle and about 15 bar stools around it. Now, in the center of the eight-sided bar, there was a small elevated dance platform with two young performers doing, well, performance things. And the place is just chock full of shit-faced Chinese businessmen in cheap suits, slamming whiskeys, chain-smoking Russian cigarettes, and throwing money on the stage. And apparently, it was the young performers' jobs to come up with inventive ways to pick the money up. I was appalled that I couldn't find an open seat. Damn. But hey, no worries. There was a curtained opening on each side of the room, then a couple of steps, and there was another eight-sided room with an eight-sided bar, 15 stools, and two enthusiastic performers. Now, this place, in this place, there was a total of eight of these interconnected eight-sided rooms, eight-sided bars, 15 stools, and two performers. And the idea was to start in the big lobby, the first room, and then have a couple of drinks in each one as you work your way around. Then by the time you get back to the first room, it's a shift change, and you get a whole new set of little girls. Performers to throw money at. Hell yeah, this was great fun. Now, the Bottoms Up also had this signature drink that was about, oh, I don't know, 28, 30 ounces of just syrup and grain alcohol, served in this beautiful sculpted goblet with the Bottoms Up Club name and logo etched in the glass. And if you could drink the whole thing and stay on your feet, you could keep the goblet. I mean, it was an actual trophy. Shit. Sounds like a fucking challenge to me. Now, this drink runs about 30 bucks, which would be about a 60 or $70 drink today. But of course, the goblet is the prize, and you had to earn it. It's kind of a, I don't know, cross between a Long Island iced tea and a tequila sunrise, but it's designed to knock your dick in the dirt. But you can bet your grandmother's undies I'm taking one of those glasses home. Now, the Chinese and Japanese cultures are very similar in that the men all drink heavily, and they're almost required to. Now, it's common for a boss to take a half a dozen employees out for drinks after work. And if you want to stay in the running for that next promotion, you better keep up with the boss drink for drink and be able to hold it. Believe me, part of your evaluation will be based on how well you hold your liquor. You see, every business meeting with every prospective client is held over food and drinks. And if you can't be trusted to hold your liquor with the client, you're out. So when someone orders the house drink, it's a big deal. You're the center of attention. Hell, even the girls have stopped wiggling around and are laughing and pointing and having fun. And I'm getting the Chinese version of the crowd chanting, drink, drink, drink. Well, it sounds more like "Trinco, Trinco, Trinco." Because you're not supposed to just sit there and sip it. I mean, this is China, the land of competitive alcoholism. You're supposed to drink it. Hell, this has now turned into a competition, East versus West. Now, I'm not stupid. Well, you'll probably challenge this a little later, but I'm not going to chug this thing. But after about 15 minutes, the last gulp goes down to a roar from the crowd, the handshakes, backslaps. Hell, the little girls have even pulled out a couple of those Kodak Instamatic cameras, the ones that spit the pictures out right there, and are flashing away. The goblet is presented in a wooden presentation box and placed on the bar in front of me. Man, I just became one of the boys. And that's when the betting begins on just how long until you pass out. But now that the guys are buying drinks for the whole room, it's getting crazy. Nobody's rotating out of our room to the next one. The party's right here. Then somehow I end up arm wrestling this guy in a suit, and I let him think he's winning for a little bit, and then take him down. And he laughs out loud, slaps me on the back, and now there's six more drunken suits behind me waiting to get their picture taken, getting beaten by the yellow-haired gorilla. Man, it was a glorious evening. But right around now, the little snippets of memory get a little fewer and farther between. Now, I'd already had several before the bucket challenge, and then round after round after that. So I have absolutely no idea how I got out of the bar and back to the ship. I'm assuming it was Dan, which it was, but we went different directions in the bar, and I hadn't seen him all night. But when I woke up, feeling like warmed over death, thankful I'd paid for two watches, I look over at my little desk area, and there's my engraved, cut crystal goblet in a wooden presentation box, and I don't have a clue. Jesus, I mean, I can't believe I actually drank it, but they don't give those things away, and you can't just buy one. The only way to get a goblet is to drink the contents and walk out the door. So I guess the the legend is born. And from there, well, it was Haiphong, Da Nang, Vietnam, Liam Shabang, Thailand. I probably shouldn't talk too much about Thailand. My wife listens to these. just, just kidding, dear. Then Singapore.